Yo, it's Freddy Ruxpin, and today we're going to be talking about which Autotune plugin is the best one to use. So you want to pitch correct, and you found out that there are a million Autotune plugins out there. There's Melodyne by Celemony, Moo Voice by Moo Technologies, V-Vocal from Cakewalk, Steinberg Pitch Correct. Even Logic Pro has his own pitch correction software.
It's garbage.
So many choices out there. Which one should you use? Well, in the 10 plus years that I've been producing music, the two Autotune plugins that I go to the most are Antares Autotune and Waves Tune by Waves.
So lit.
So I use both plugins for different reasons. Autotune Evo is for quick and easy pitch corrections. I use this for vocals that are already very good and need a little bit of tuning, or you want to add a very non-subtle autotune effect to it.
I think it sounds great.
And the way that you do that is changing this retune speed. If you change it from slow, you get a more human effect. If you change it to fast, you get a more robotic T-Pain effect. The only problem is that Antares Autotune applies the effect to the whole vocal. Let's say that there's only a little section that you want to apply autotune to.
How would you do that?
This is where Waves Tune comes in. When I need more control on where and how much autotune effect is placed on a certain section of a vocal, that's when I use Waves Tune. So before you can pitch correct with Waves Tune, you're going to need to analyze the waveform that you will be correcting. I'm going to use a vocal that I used in my last video on how to properly autotune. And in that video, we determined that the key of the song that this is in C major, which we need to put in Waves Tune so that it can analyze correctly. So down here, we're going to need to make sure that the scale is in C major. Right now it is in C natural minor, so I need to change it to C major. Now I'm going to hit spacebar so Waves Tune can analyze my vocal. I don't know about you, but I'm so hungry right now. I can use some tacos in my belly. Whoa, oh yeah. Whoa, oh yeah. Don't you know that tacos are life? So when you play it the first time, you can see that Autotune was not working at all. Once you see these waveforms after Waves Tune analyzes your vocal, once you play it again, you will hear the pitch correction. We're going to listen to how Waves Tune pitch corrected our vocal. I don't know about you, but I'm so hungry right now. I can use some tacos in my belly. Whoa, oh yeah. Whoa, oh yeah. Don't you know that tacos are life? So as you can hear, it sounds good, but there's room for improvement. So that's when we deep dive in and fine-tune little sections that we think we can make better or make sound more realistic and less robotic. So let me explain this interface for you. Each note that is sung is mapped out and tied to a specific note on a keyboard. So there are two lines. There's an orange line and a green line. The orange line represents where your original vocal was tuned to, where your original vocal was sang. The green line represents where Waves Tune has tuned your vocal to. The three knobs that I use the most in Waves Tune is speed, note transition, and ratio. Speed is how fast you want this effect to be applied. Note transition is when notes change how fast it is applied. And ratio is the percentage of effect that is applied. So you can have a lot of effect applied, or you can put it to 0 and have the least effect applied or no effect applied. So I'm going to go through this vocal and auto-tune it and show you how I work on a vocal to get it sounding the most natural and most tuned. I don't know about you, but I'm so hungry right now. Okay, so I can tell that my voice is on different notes right here. I'm going to highlight this, press this, and it'll snap everything in that place. These should all be on the same note, so I highlight them, and then I'm going to click G, so it all snaps in G. And then you see these green lines, they should be more towards the center. So I'm going to highlight this section right here, and note transition, I'm going to crank down note transition so it's more of a solid line. How do I get this something to be, there you go. So I clicked on it and I put note transition and I changed it so that I pulled this green down. So now you see this waveform is more linear and in the center of this note. So let's hear it again. I don't know about you, but I'm so hungry right now. Okay, it's a little better. So with Waves Tune, I have total control on what pitch each note is sung on. So let's say right here. I don't know about you, and this part, I can switch this note. I can just drag it up to a different note, and let's hear how it sounds. I don't know about you. So you see, with Waves Tune, I can make myself sing on a different note, and I can drag the notes to different notes to get a different pitch. So in conclusion, I use Waves Tune because it gives me more control over a vocal, although it is a little bit more time consuming.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You really have to be deliberate and really think about how you want the vocal to sound, but it can give you a very natural sound. Antares Autotune, on the other hand, gives you a quick and easy way to pitch correct a vocal, but it lacks in the area of controlling certain sections where you want to apply the effect. Also, Antares Autotune is good for fixing vocals that are already good and just need a little bit of pitch correction. Waves Tune can also be applied to a good vocal where you only need to pitch correct in a certain section of the vocal. And those are the reasons why I use two different autotunes, but those are the two autotunes that I go to the most. If you found this video helpful in letting you know which autotune to use, please subscribe to my channel, send me any questions or comments or concerns below, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. If you hated this video and hate autotune and hate tuning your voice, give me a thumbs down. It's cool with me. And if you want to learn how to autotune properly, like finding the key that the song is in that you're autotuning, check out my last video. Until next time, much love and respect.
Freddy Ruxpin out. Peace.
I am done helping you.